Hey, my lady friend, got a minute? Today I want to walk you through a simple reset using a story about a woman named Jane. Let me tell you a little bit about Jane. Jane is a nonprofit manager. She's a wife, a mom, and lately she's been helping to take care of her elderly parents. And somewhere along the way, she started feeling stretched in every direction. Even in the spaces she cares deeply about, more responsibilities kept being added to her plate. And maybe you've had seasons like that too. The kind of season where you're trying to hold everything together but quietly realizing that your capacity has changed. So instead of trying to fix everything all at once, Jane paused. Not to quit, not to give up, but to become honest about what she's actually carrying. So she grabbed a piece of paper and wrote at the top, "What is on my plate right now?" And from there, she started listing everything: her responsibilities, her commitments, people who depend on her, things weighing on her mind. Not organizing it, not perfecting it, just being honest with it. And sometimes that's the first step because we cannot reset what we won't acknowledge. So now we're going to actually go through Jane's reset, and we want to think a little bit about what her life is like. So I'm just going to name some of the responsibilities that she has. Of course, this is not everything, but it's quite a bit that takes up a lot of her time. Of course, managing nonprofit staff and volunteers, preparing an upcoming fundraiser event, responding to emails and community partners, helping to oversee programs and services, making sure that deadlines and reports are completed, coordinating schedules and meetings, supporting her children and their activities and routines, helping to take care of her aging parents, and maintaining her household responsibilities, and to be emotionally present for everyone. Her commitments: she serves on a church committee, she helps with an upcoming ministry event, she attends networking and community meetings. She volunteers for additional projects. She supports her family members and friends. She says yes when people ask for help. She shows up for everyone even when she's tired, and she tries to maintain appearances and hold it together. People who depend on Jane are her children, of course, her spouse, her parents, her nonprofit team, clients and community members served by the nonprofit, church members and team members, friends who lean on her emotionally because everyone tends to see her as the dependable one. Also, she has some things that are weighing on her mind. She feels like she's falling behind. She feels that she's not doing enough. She fears disappointing people. She feels guilty when she says no. She has some financial concerns that are connected to caregiving. She wonders if she's neglecting herself. She feels emotionally exhausted, trying to keep everyone else stable, feeling pressure to always be available, and realizing her capacity has changed. So now let's take a look at the very first question. We've heard a little bit about what's going on in Jane's life. So the first question we want to talk about is, what do I have to carry right now? So after she does the brain dump, where she's putting in a lot of these responsibilities, I'm not going to write all of them, but I'll write a few of them. So we have managing the nonprofit, and we know that's the team, the hired team, and her volunteers. She's also responding to emails. And I'm not going to write all these. We've talked a lot about what she does have on her plate. I just want to write a few of them. Okay, so here's her list. And remember, this is not everything. This is just some of it that we're going to use in this example. So let's think about, what can Jane release for this season? So as we know that Jane is a fictitious woman, but many of us have a lot of the same responsibilities that she has. It just might look different in our lives depending on what our lives look like, what types of jobs we have, and what types of friendships and other responsibilities that we have. But we're going to just look at her situation for right now. So I'm going to pull this back over just for a bit. And once you, when you're doing this yourself, you want to, again, write freely. There's no judgment. Just write anything and everything and be honest. Now, what I have to carry right now, these are your non-negotiables. These are the things you must take care of. And so if we were to look at what Jane may be able to do, and as she's looking through her list, well, she knows she has to do her job with managing her team members. And part of that she has, these would be the responsibilities. So I'm going to kind of put a little arrow there because we know that all goes under her job responsibilities. We also know that she has to take care of her parents. I'm just going to circle the things we know she has to do, even though a lot of these other things she does have to do, but we know immediately these are the things she must carry. She does have to take care of her household needs, but we might be able to look at this under maybe a partial release, because maybe her children, her husband might be able to help her in some other areas. Her kids might be a little older, so they might be able to do some things around the house. The husband might be able to take up some other scheduling responsibilities. So I'm going to not circle that one right now. Let's just kind of go through and see. Helping with volunteer work at church and other projects, that's wonderful. And she definitely wants to continue that, but that is not something that she has to actually carry right now. She might be able to let that go for a little bit, maybe get someone to take up help her in this area. So we're going to skip that one. Emotional help for family members and friends. Again, I think that's something wonderful that we can do as women to help one another, but that's not something that she actually has to help unless it's her immediate family, like her children, her husband, and her parents. So I think this kind of might fall under taking care of family. I'm going to put a 3 here, but I'm also going to put a 3 here because all of this kind of connects back to these are your immediate family members. So these might be the people that we know that we have to carry this because this is our immediate responsibility. Now, the financial concerns, that may not even be something that she needs to be concerned about at this time. Her parents may still be living on their own. They just may need a little bit of assistance from her, and it may not even be money related or monetary. It just might be making sure they're taking their medications, they're going to doctor's appointments. So, and we're going to say that's what it is. And so I'm not going to put that as something that she has to worry about now, but we do feel like in the future she may need to look at that. Feeling emotionally exhausted and worrying that she's not doing enough. I almost think these two kind of go together, because if we're not 100%, then we can't be 100% for taking care of our job responsibilities, our family responsibilities, and then just doing whatever it takes for us to make it through the day. If you're not emotionally able to handle those things, you can burn out very quickly. So we're also going to feel like that's something that she needs to look at, that she is carrying right now. So we're going to say these 4 things: her job, her family, and I would say probably her family would come number 1, then her job. And then underneath the family, we also said that the emotional help, so all of that goes along with it. And then her helping herself to release some of this exhaustion and the feeling that she's not doing enough. So we're going to say those are the things that she's carrying right now, even though she's carrying a whole lot more. I'm just saying managing team. I'm just going to say that goes under job, family. And then we're also her own emotions, her own self-care, her own health. So let's just say wellness. So we're going to say Jane's wellness. Okay, so these are the top things. Again, she's going to look at trying to figure out in her mind which one she feels is the most important, and then go from there. Okay, so with that being said, we can now take a look at what can she possibly release maybe from this season. Now, of course, you heard me read lots of things off of her list. And we only put a few of those things on the brain dump. So we're going to say that she's going to release right now. They matter. They just may not matter right now. We're going to go ahead and put the volunteering. Again, she could possibly ask a friend or another volunteer to maybe take up some slack for her right now until she gets to feeling that she has things better managed. There's nothing wrong with saying no at times, because people do understand that our lives change in the different seasons that we're in, and what we were able to do in some seasons we're not always able to do in others. We're also going to say that the financial concerns, although that does matter, this is something she needs to start thinking about. She may need to schedule an appointment with the financial advisor with her parents to kind of see if it seems as though they might look at something in the future, if the parents maybe want to sell their house and maybe move to an assisted facility, or if as a family they decide that they want them to move in with them. I mean, there's all types of ways that families talk about what's going to happen once parents start aging. So that could be a conversation for later. It matters a lot, but at this point, since it's really she's just helping them with some of their daily tasks, she can think about this on the back burner just a bit. All right, so then the second question is, what can she revisit later? It's not urgent. It can return into another season. Back to our list. We're going to state that she can return to volunteering at the church or the other activities that she was doing. So I'm going to say volunteering at church, at church, or the other projects that she has. She's going to go back and revisit that. She's going to also, we've just talked about that, having those financial concerns. She's going to start thinking about who she can speak to with her parents to determine what the future could look like and to see what it is that they're wanting to do. And even though she may not be giving as much emotional help to her family and to other members of family, not the immediate, but maybe, cousins or aunts and uncles. She still cares a lot about them, but she may not be doing as much as she had been. Same thing with friends, that her friends know that she's there, but she may have to just draw back a little bit. And maybe when friends call or family call, she might, instead of having an hour conversation with them about something that they're going through, maybe she might limit it to 10 minutes so that they know that she still cares and that she still listens. It might be that she might communicate through texting for a little bit. So I'm going to put emotional support. And again, she just might limit how much time she gives to that. Now, those are the 3 questions that she can ask. Now she can go back, now after she has brain dumped, now she's kind of thought about some things that she feels like are non-negotiables, some things that she can wait on and come back to, and some things that aren't quite urgent, but she can come back to them as well. So she's done all of that. Remember, the questions are, what I have to carry right now, what can I release, and what can I revisit? So now she can start thinking about, okay, now that I know I've made the decision of some things that I can take off my plate for a bit, let me now refocus. Let me recenter on what truly matters and that feels nourishing to me. It can be a soft return to your clarity and your intention. So what do I give myself permission to reset? Where do I need to give myself permission to reset? So we're going to say that she's going to reset herself, first of all, by thinking about what she's going to do to help her emotional health. Because we're going to say it again, if her emotional health and wellness is not where she needs to be, it's going to be difficult to give to other people if she's not there herself. So she's going to look at her emotional health. Does that mean that she's going to take walks, maybe when she gets off work, or take a walk maybe during her lunch break? Maybe she has an hour lunch break and she's going to commit 30 minutes to walking at work, because she can make sure that that gets done. And once she gets home, or when she's on her way home, she'll go home and she'll check on her parents. So we're going to say her emotional health, she's going to do some walking. She's going to bring healthy lunches instead of picking up fast food. I'm not going to ever say she's not going to have fast food, but she's going to be more intentional about bringing the healthy lunches. She's also going to get with her husband, and they're going to determine some things what responsibilities he can kind of help pick up. Even though he's a very busy man as well, they are partners, and he is going to pick up some of the slack so that she can give a little bit more, since now she's having to take care of her parents a little more. Her children are 10 and 11. So they can do some of those responsibilities too. So we're going to say children are going to step in. They're going to have family meeting, determine what types of chores need to get done, what type of help they can do during the week, so that, they might decide to do meal planning or something on the weekend, and then they don't have as much to get together during the week for dinner. And that would help her to be able to check on her parents, make sure they've eaten, and then get home and make sure that, everybody at the house has eaten and they've gotten homework ready. So this is going to take some intention on their part, but they're going to get through that. And then I've been saying this about the parents, but it still goes under that the parents, because we're stating that she's trying to, when she does her work, she's going to do some self-care things at work. She might, do some little breathing exercises. She's going to walk. She's going to bring her lunch. She's going to talk with her husband. They're going to divide some of the responsibilities at home. Some things, sometimes we just have to say that we'll get to it when we get to it. So laundry might only be on the weekend. They might decide that we're going to cook one night and have leftovers the next night. There's just going to be some things you're just going to have to say we're going to do, and some things that we say, okay, we'll get to it. It's going to get done. And then with the parents, we're going to say that she's trying to leave from work, go to check on her parents, make sure things are ready for them so that she can go home. And once she's home, she's able to get the responsibilities and the duties that she needs to take care of there. So that's her refocus. Now she's going to set one boundary that she can honor for this particular week. So she's thinking, what can I definitely just do that I'm going to make sure that I intentionally do? And I'm going to say, I didn't mention it, but when she responds to emails, she's responding during any time of day or night, because, she gets busy and sometimes she's not able to get back to the emails until she leaves for the day. So what she's going to do is, before she leaves, she's going to make sure that any urgent emails, and I'm putting this here, any urgent emails she responds to before she leaves for the day. And any other emails will be taken care of when she returns to work the next day, and she is not answering any emails at home. So that's her boundary for that week that she's going to honor. So the closing reflection is, I want you to remember that balance isn't always about doing it all. Sometimes it's just about honoring what this season requires. So now that we've gone through this reset with Jane, hopefully this will give you an example of how you can go through a reset that you might need to be able to pause, breathe, and realign. So if you've been feeling stretched lately, I want to encourage you to pause long enough to ask yourself 3 questions. What am I carrying right now? What truly belongs in this season? And what am I trying to hold on to that may need to be released for now? You do not have to figure out everything today. Just start there. And if you'd like a guided version of this reset, I've created a simple balance and boundaries worksheet packet to help you walk through it at your own pace. You can find it in the description below. Until next time, my lady friend, pause, reset, and refocus.